Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about postpartum blues. And I call it postpartum blues because it's not postpartum depression. Postpartum depression is something that, people are diagnosed with, and it's a lot more critical and requires, a medical attention. So that's different, but postpartum blues is kind of a blend between baby blues and postpartum depression. It's kind of in the middle. And what I mean by that is, if you don't know, postpartum blues is basically just the emotions that you go through during that fourth trimester, the emotional roller coaster, the frustrations of dealing with a newborn and dealing with insomnia, not being able to sleep because the baby's up all the time. But they say that baby blues usually, at least this is my understanding of baby blues, but they say that it lasts around 2 weeks. But mine is usually a lot longer than just 2 weeks. I'm talking the first 3 months, all right, of having the newborn at home. And every time I've experienced postpartum blues, it's been a hard thing for me to pull myself out of. But if you find yourself in a situation where you're like, okay, it's been more than 2 weeks, it's been about a month or so, and I'm still feeling down and overwhelmed and just emotional and crying all the time and just in a dark space, here are some tips I believe could help you out. So to start off, usually with postpartum care, you would have your postpartum visits with your doctor, and during those visits they would usually give you like an eval sheet just to evaluate how you're coping and doing mentally. Here, I would say that you really want to be as transparent as possible. Fill out that sheet and mark the things that truly explain how you feel, right? You want to be as truthful as possible. Don't try to downplay your feelings or, sugarcoat it. Don't do that, because filling out that sheet and that evaluation sheet as truthfully as possible and as being as transparent as possible will really help the doctors and the professionals know how to give you the help that you need. And sometimes I think as women, or just as people, we may downplay how we truly feel, and I don't know about anybody else, but whenever I get those sheets, sometimes when I'm reading the answers and I'm trying to figure out, how to answer these questions, some of the answers seem so extreme, but then the ones that actually describe exactly how I feel or have felt look so much worse than what I thought they were. I don't know if that makes sense, but you never really realize how deep your thoughts, your feelings had been in the past, or you never really realize how dark what you've been feeling has been until you're faced with that sheet. And that's why I said try and be as transparent as possible, as truthful as possible when filling out that sheet, because it helps these professionals, the doctors, to know and really gauge your mental health. Now, usually after filling out the eval, the doctor then will go ahead and figure out whether or not they need to talk to you, or if your case is a little bit more serious, they will go ahead and talk to you about that. And in that part of the process, you want to make sure that you are, again, being transparent, because they are in the best position to help you and to maybe refer you to the right people that will help you. So definitely be transparent during your postpartum visits. Another tip to help you out is to try and establish a good support system even before you give birth. Try your best. Reach out to family especially, because family is more likely to be of support to you than anyone else. Reach out to friends, and then, search and look for whatever type of help is out there available in your community. I think help is always available. We just have to kind of search. So looking for a good support system will really help. Having things in place with people, whether it's with, family members that will commit to coming every weekend or something for a couple hours just to take the kids off of you, while you have some time to yourself, some time to rest or whatever, is gonna be helpful. Try and establish that prior to having your kids, because it might help you to deal with to go through that postpartum blues phase of this whole journey. So another tip that could help here with dealing with postpartum blues is making sure you have enough sleep and rest. And I know that's kind of like, really, I have a newborn on my hands. Sleep where? What is sleep, right? And I understand, but you have to be intentional about sleeping and resting. You have to be intentional about sleeping and resting. And this kind of goes hand in hand with my previous tip, which is to make sure that you have a stable and a solid support system. If you found someone who has committed to coming every weekend, to take the kids from you, if that's the case, then you spent that time sleeping and resting. Or if you have a spouse or a partner, someone who is with you in that moment, try and get your partner to also commit, maybe on a daily basis. Working together in that sense helps. It really does help. It helps you to refresh, to rejuvenate. Sleep and rest is very, 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 very important. It's very easy in this moment to get burnt out. And you don't want to be burnt out, because you want to have all the energy to give your baby the proper care that, he or she needs. So having and getting adequate rest and sleep is going to be important, and it's going to help you with those emotions. It's going to help brighten that dark space that you're finding yourself in. Also, go outside, girl. Go outside. I'm talking, if you find someone who has committed to coming to help out on the weekends, you could probably take that opportunity to go out and have, like a self-care day or something, which is another tip. Try and maybe once a month, at the very least, once a month, have a self-care day. Oh my God, it makes all the difference. I'm telling you, just to go out, and something as simple as getting your nails done, makes a world of difference. You just come back and you just feel, revived. You feel alive, But in terms of going out, once every couple of days, go out. Intentionally put that baby in that stroller, okay, and go outside. You don't have to walk around if you don't have the strength, but at the very least, outside of your balcony, on your balcony, sitting out there, soaking up the sun, fresh air. It brightens you up in that it reminds you that what you're going through is temporary. This that you're seeing outside has been there before the child, is going to be there after the child grows and is no longer as dependent on you. So yeah, go outside. Like I said, going out for a self-care day or engaging in an activity that you really love. It doesn't have to be a self-care day if you're not into stuff like that. But maybe if you're into like movies and, going out to the cinema just does something for you, do that. Do something that helps release that feel-good hormones. You have to be intentional about these things, because if you aren't intentional, you see why I started out with making sure that you have a good support system. Because if you don't, and you don't have the chance or the outlet to go out, you're gonna be stuck in that dark whole and, for a long time, and it's going to just be a prolonged period for you. But if you have all these little moments of going outside, of engaging in activities that make you feel good or whatever, it'll brighten up your mood, it'll brighten up your spirit, it'll strengthen you and help you, just revive you during your fourth trimester. Also, there are support groups out there. Get together with other moms, in the community. Maybe that helps. Find moms in the community that you can connect with. Or it could be in your community, whether it's your church community or, wherever, that you can connect with and have, dates with, with your kids, or just get together and schedule activities together to do. And if you find yourself in a really dark spot that you just cannot seem to get yourself out of, there are helplines, there are hotlines, there are numbers that you can call to just talk to someone anonymously and just, and just vent and let everything out. I think therapy during this time period helps as well, okay? Get a therapist, someone that you talk to, daily. With those therapy appointments, you have that hour, on a weekly basis or however often you want to do it, that you're gone out of the house and you are sitting with someone in a safe space and just talking, where you're just talking and expressing your frustrations and everything. Someone that's just listening to you and there for you to kind of rely on, in that moment. I think that can be very, very helpful as well. To conclude, please be reminded that a happy and a mentally stable mom is what your child needs. So do everything in your power to pull yourself out of that postpartum blues state, because if you're not only doing it for yourself, you're doing it for your child as well, and your child needs you, or your children needs you. I hope this was helpful. Please let me know if it was, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye.